Y'all are wild, man. Y'all are wild. Y'all are crazy. Crazy, I tell you. It's Monday. It is November the 3rd. My goodness, I can't believe it's this late in the year. Welcome to the Chad Prather Show. Going to expose a couple things today, and I'm here for it. I'm all excited about it because it needs to be done. It needs to be done. I'm glad you guys are here. Glad you're jumping in. Let me see those dancing bananas. Let me get over here to Rumble so I can see you guys. Somebody this morning on Before the Noise like, what's the deal with the bananas? What's the deal with the bananas? People get fired up over stuff they don't understand. You ever notice that? And you know what else people get fired up about is they don't understand the Rumble raid. So like I sent a funny comment that somebody put in the chat this morning. I sent it over to Sarah Gonzalez because it was funny. And she said, I don't understand what they mean by a Rumble raid. So most of you know this, whenever you're watching a program in the live format, which is what we are from, 8 to 9 or 7 to 8 Central, that's how they drive audiences. They drive an audience over to the next show. So the one after us is Graham's Dear America. After that is Vince, whatever Vince's last name is. And after that is whoever. And whoever's on, I don't know, whatever. And so people get mad. You can actually opt out of the Rumble raid. You just go in your settings. You say, I don't want that to happen. And also, if you're in the live chat, you'll see it there, and you can opt out right there in the spot. People get mad. They're like ready to stop watching their show altogether because they're going to miss that last 60 seconds of the deal. They get raided over. They can't click 2 buttons and come back. We really are a wild society, man. I mean, we don't want anything to inconvenience us at all. I mean, they're, killing Nigerian Christians right now. But don't you dare let my coffee get cold. It's kind of insane, really. How are you guys doing today? Did you have a good weekend? Anybody do anything fun? I'm going to bring Party Foul Steve on here in a little while, and we're going to talk about hunting. He went hunting because he hates Bambi. He hates the deers. And he went out there trying to murder deers in the fields. And we're going to talk about that in a little while. I'm going to try to make him feel guilty. Probably won't work. I want to talk about the hypocrisy of the left. We're going to get in talking about this whole hug thing from Erika Kirk. Tell you my full-on opinion on that deal because that's why we're here. And also, we also want to talk about this Gatsby party, this party that Trump threw, this party for rich people while the kids are starving to death. The left's having a meltdown over that. I mean, they're losing it, kind of losing it over his 60 Minutes. Trump could come out and breathe, and people like Harry Sisson are going to lose their freaking mind. I mean, just anything the dude does makes little lefties like Harry Sisson lactate, man. And I want to just tell you the truth about all of it. But you know what's wild? You know what's really crazy and wild? And the thing that bugs me is the left. They love to claim that moral high ground. I mean, they're just bombarding us with it, with the EBT and the SNAP and whatever, the WIC. I don't, all the stuff that's shut down. And it's amazing to me how you have those voices on the left that just parade around like these saviors of compassion, these defenders of the poor, these champions of the downtrodden. But when you peel back their little polished talking points, there's so much vitriol there. What you find underneath all of that is this pure hypocrisy that's wrapped in self-righteousness. And we've got to start calling it for what it is. I mean with critical thinking, not just arguing with them. I mean really calling them out on this stuff. Because these same people that are out there screaming about equity, and yet they live behind their gated walls, and they're talking about how the poor are suffering, and they're some of the most elite people, some of the richest people out there. Wouldn't pee in your ear if your brain was on fire. They sat there pushing for open borders all these years, but yet they send their kids to private schools guarded by security. They say they're all about the working man, yet they destroy the industries that keep the food on his table. Yeah, they did. I had somebody the other day try to tell me on social media that Joe Biden's inflation rate was only 2%. I was like, did I sleep through that? I mean, 2% on top of the other 18% that was already, popping off right there. I mean, what stat are you reading to think Joe Biden had a 2% inflation rate? And they said, Trump's worse because he's taking it to 3%. The talking points are unreal. I mean, I'm sure you saw over the weekend that Bill Gates has now flip-flopped on his position on climate change. I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day who said that I had a good time having a great conversation with her at an event the other night. She called herself a hippie Christian. She said, because I believe in climate change. I said, I believe in it too. Every time the sun comes up, the climate changes. It's amazing. I mean, every time the summer comes around, the climate changes. But you got these people that are, they're activists about it. They're going to almost save the planet. And then they're going to hop on a private jet and lecture the rest of us about their carbon footprint, our carbon footprint. But the kicker of it all, and this is the thing that's irritated me all weekend long, and I'd love to hear from you guys today in the chat, is they say they care about children. Go march in the streets for the right to end their lives before they ever see the light of day. Claim that's women's health care. Hypocrisy. Claim to fight for the poor, but when the policies, their policies drive up gas, food, and rent, and suddenly we're just, got to make some sacrifices. It's easy to say when you're sipping wine in Martha's Vineyard, Obama. They're going to shut down your business during the lockdowns, told your kids to stay home, fall behind educationally, but they're going to dine mask-free at French Laundry, get their hair done at the private salons, Nancy. And they made the rules for you, but not for them. And now they want you to forget all that. So we're going to call it out today. They're going to tell you that speech is violence unless it's their speech. And they're going to tell you to believe the science unless the science doesn't fit their agenda. They call for tolerance unless you disagree with them. And then you get canceled, mocked, silenced, or worse. They don't have compassion. They want control. And it's not justice. It's manipulation. The left doesn't want equality of opportunity. They want equality of submission. Let's call it for what it is. They want to break down what makes America strong, that faith, nuclear family, real freedom, freedom of speech. They want to replace that with government power, guilt, and fear. And the truth of the matter is real compassion doesn't require control. I don't know if you figured that out yet or not. Real justice doesn't silence dissent. And real equality doesn't punish success. I don't care how many Gatsby parties you throw. See, the hypocrisy of the left isn't a bug in the system. It's the system itself. Because hypocrisy is the only way you can preach virtue while living like an elitist that doesn't have any real ideas that help society. So the next time somebody from the left wants to lecture you about morality, I want you to remember this. The actions speak louder than the hashtags and the comments online, and their actions have revealed everything we need to know. Tired of it, I tell you. I'll never forget when James Brown got pulled over there on the expressway, Calhoun Expressway, Augusta, Georgia, got pulled over. And he said, I'm tired of it. He's running from the law. Let me tell you about my friends over at Birch Gold. Blow up that chat with those dancing bananas. Let me see them. My friends at Birch Gold, get that retirement taken care of. Get your future settled. Get it secure by texting Chad to 989898. They'll send you a free no-obligation information kit. And they'll make sure you have what you need to know about taking that savings account or that old 401k and rolling it over into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by physical gold. That's what you want to do. Gold is not going to lose its value. It's going to stay strong, especially right now while so much is devaluing the dollar. And gold is through the roof in its value right now. But they will send you that free no-obligation information kit. All you got to do, and it's a favor to the show, by the way, lets them know that you care and that you care about this show. Text CHAD, C-H-A-D, to 989898. Do that for me today, please. If you love me, if you like seeing us on here, text CHAD to 989898. That helps support us. And what is it? I love what Party Foul Steve said. We need each of you to help keep the lights on and keep the cameras rolling. So text Chad to 989898. Look at Steve, big balling over there. Look at Linda Adams throwing the, is that a Bitcoin emoji on there? Dancing bananas. All you guys, text Chad to 989898. All right, enough of my riff-raff. Let's make him feel guilty for trying to kill Bambi. Party Foul Steve, everybody.
There is nothing to feel guilty about because I did not kill Bambi. I let him walk. I let them all walk.
You saw some deer, though, right?
Oh, we saw tons of deer, but we're hunting particular ones on this place. And I will say, unfortunately, the one that Tony that's been coming to her feeder and everything, the camp, the next acreage over, they got him opening morning. Big 10 point. So
Do you know the people who got him?
yeah, it's family. So, but they have their section, and we're on our section. So,
What's the deal? He walked in the wrong section?
yeah, well, those bucks cover all that. There's thousands and thousands of acres. So,
Oh, I
but
know. Look at this one that I got a couple of weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
Look at that. That's
just
Wisconsin.
because you
That's not
squat
East
down,
Texas.
just because you squat down doesn't mean you're hunting.
I hunted that sucker.
Oh,
Let me tell you.
I
And that was a 200-yard shot too, buddy.
yeah,
there.
we're doing some real control. There's some they're like a 7-point borderline. We're leaving him alone. We're leaving several alone. I've got an 8-point that's on my kill list.
Yeah.
That's looking for him, and there's a couple of more 8-points in there that are on the kill list. But then there's several smaller bucks that are on the do not kill list, and they're all borderline. We want them to grow up and be bigger next year.
Well, that's conservation. That's what it's all about. And you keep sending me these pictures of these deer on the deer cams, and I'm like, it's pretty nice bucks for East Tennessee. There's some big ones out
East
there.
Texas.
What I say, Tennessee?
Texas. Yeah,
Texas. It's all the same.
So, but I mean, we have several spikes, and those are legal too if they're slick horn on one side. At least one side's slick, and we're saving those for January, and we'll take those out with black powder because we black powder hunt too. So
now I'll show you a South Texas deer that we got, which I told you we're gonna go. I think in December. We have some bucks that need to be culled, and they need to come off of that deal. Down in South Texas.
Yeah, it's all part of conservation. I mean, certain bucks you do take off, and even does when
That's a South Texas deer right there. Look at that sucker.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a big monster right there. It's a big boy. That's almost like an Iowa deer right there.
Yeah,
I know people get mad at me because they're like, we don't want to see all this murder.
I did discover a couple of things though this weekend. Because we set up big camp. We're full-fledged camp. The only thing we don't have is a full-time camp cook. We all kind of pitch in to do it, ourselves. But I discovered that opening day of deer season, I probably pray more than any other time of the year.
Yeah.
I literally spend the whole day praying. And then the next is that I might have, and I'm not making fun of narcolepsy, but I might have it. Because I get on the deer stand and I get sleepy.
So you're saying when you get still, you get sleepy?
Yeah, that's
the deal.
But I sleep in 4-minute. I sleep in 4-minute increments. So it's literally if I sleep and I wake up and I look at my clock, 4 minutes has went by.
That's not narcolepsy. That's called being 55, dude,
okay.
and sitting out in the deer stand. Speaking of sleepy and bored with something, we're on day 34 of the government shutdown. Speaker Mike Johnson. I had a big debate the other day because I like to stir the pot every now and then, talking about how this is the Democrat shutdown. Let's get to the top stories right quick, and then we'll talk about this. Speaker Mike Johnson, he dropped the mic on every Democrat in America. I had some people on that little conversation with me. They were trying to blame Mike Johnson. Let's see what little Mike had to say.
You go to the third one. False claim number 3, Democrats are fighting for health care. You've heard this over and over and over. Let me say something very simply about this false claim. It is the Democrats who created Obamacare. It is the Democrats who did that without any Republican votes. It's the Democrats who, by extension, have cost the American taxpayers and people who have health insurance have made their costs skyrocket. It is their policies that made that happen. And so instead of reforming it, the Democrats don't reform Obamacare. They want to subsidize it. They want to spend more taxpayer dollars. That, by the way, goes mostly to insurance companies, which makes the cost rise further. That's the Democrats' plan. When they passed Obamacare in 2010, they called it the Affordable Care Act. We know the truth is exactly the opposite. By some estimates, premiums have risen 60% in many categories since they passed that bill into law. Now, the fact is the opposite. Republicans are the ones fighting to save health care. Why? It's not just talking points to us. We do this. We have ideas, and we have already implemented ideas and measures to reduce costs, increase access and quality, and eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, why do we say it's not just a talking point? Why do we say the Republican Party is the only one advancing common sense reform solutions? Because we've proven it. We did that in the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We took a look at Medicaid, and we took on that challenge. We took action to reduce fraud, waste, and abuse in Medicaid. We got able-bodied young men without dependents off the program. We got illegal aliens off the program, and we saved $185 billion just to start. We got millions of ineligible enrollees off the program, and it preserved it. It strengthened Medicaid for the people who rely upon it, which is the elderly, disabled, and young pregnant women, as we always use as an example. No, it's not about health care. That is a false claim, and everybody knows it. Everyone in America, and certainly everybody in this room, understands that this is about something else.
I agree with that last statement. It is about something else. My motto of life, if you've been following me for any length of time, you've heard me say it, the issue is never the issue. I don't care what's happening. I don't care if you're having an argument with your wife. The issue is never the issue. The issue is never the issue. The thing that's out there on the headline, that's not the issue. Ultimately, this comes down to control. They want to be in control. They want to be able to launder their money. They want to be able to launder their power. They want to be able to launder their control. All right, that's what they want to do. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Now, you could talk about what you saved through the big, beautiful bill on the Medicare and the Medicaid, but here's the issue that I have with what Mike Johnson said. I want to talk about Obamacare. See, Obamacare should have never been implemented in the first place, but it was, okay? That was their big deal. You can keep your health care plan. You know, you can keep your doctor. You can keep all that. That was a lie. You can fact check that all you want. That was a lie. Barack Obama lied to the American people. They pushed through something with Obamacare. They pushed through that whole deal. I'm telling you, that's a lie. It skyrocketed. People couldn't afford it. And then you got penalized if you didn't have it, right? So here's my issue, and I've said it over and over again. Whenever they got to a point with where Trump got elected back in 2016, they didn't think Trump was going to get elected. The Republicans didn't. So whenever they wound up with a majority, they didn't have anything to replace Obamacare with because they thought Hillary Clinton was going to come in there and there weren't going to be anything they could do about it. So they didn't have a better plan. So we're still stuck with this ACA. We're still stuck with this crap. And so now you're going to come in here and you're going to talk about, oh, we care about the health care and we care about all these, people that are poor and all this kind of stuff. They don't. They care about control. At the end of the day, it's just like in the, everything that Lyndon Johnson did back in the 1960s. He wanted to make sure that everybody was dependent on the government because dependence means more votes. You got to keep voting in the people who feed you. So I disagree with Mike a little bit in saying that we had a plan. You did not have a plan. The Republicans have not had a plan. They still don't have a plan. They don't know how to save health care. They don't know how to do anything with health care. I mean, listen, you look at me, Steve. I mean, I pay for my own health care. I pay for my own health care. I pay for my own private insurance, right? I have to. Have no choice.
It ain't cheap either.
And it's not cheap, so I have to do it. And by the way, one day we'll get our buddy Mike Ipock on here, our doctor buddy. He'll tell you how insurance is a scam all the way around. But it doesn't matter. They don't tell you those things. They want to keep everybody dependent and ignorant when it comes to their health care. And so, but they're a great talking point, right? They're a great talking point to tell everybody how you need to be more governmentally dependent. Like, again, the issue is not that 42 million people are losing their EBT or their SNAP. It's the fact that 42 million people in America are relying on that. That's the bigger issue. And that's also true when it comes to health care. I mean, your insurance, I went and had, earlier this year, I went and had some MRIs done on a couple of, what do you call them, hernias in my body. Steve, I got inguinal, I got incisional, I got umbilical, I got all this stuff going on. Dude.
You need to get that fixed.
Just to get some camera work done, just to go in there and lay down for them to run that thing past me for 15 seconds, $1,300. That's with insurance. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so there's no politician out there that can look at you and say, oh, we're doing a great job and we're saving anything. I don't care what letters by your name. None of them are doing a good job on a deal like that. So it's absolutely ridiculous. And God forbid anybody's got something else really, truly going on.
The amazing thing also is we're probably sending MRI machines around the world to these other countries so they can get them for free.
Well, we are subsidizing other countries' health insurance. I mean, in their health care, that's for sure. Particularly with prescriptions. I mean, prescriptions are ridiculous here, but they're cheaper over there because we're subsidizing them, and they're getting the stuff over there that's not the name brand stuff, and they're getting it a whole lot cheaper. Jon Stewart, who, got the punchable face half the time you want to do that, but he did go off and he roasted Chuck Schumer, who just absolutely just needs to be roasted. Take a look at this. Listen.
What Chuck Schumer's been told is you're losing. And people like your glasses to be higher up on your nose. And so what I'm telling you is here's what they're doing with us now. The strategy is authenticity. And suddenly people in Congress are cursing. Oh, and it seems so natural when Chuck Schumer curses. This is a shitty bill. I'm over it all, man. I'm over it all.
I mean, have you looked? I don't know if you've seen it, Steve. You've been out in the deer stand. Have you seen how many F-bombs have been dropped by Democrat lawmakers just in the last week?
No, because there's no cell service at all out there. I get one bar every now and then, and I would get a text through occasionally.
But, I mean, that's what they're doing. All of them are M or F or this and F this and all that. And it's again, he's right. They're trying to do all this stuff where they're trying to look like they're authentic and stuff like that. They're going to be real. It's kind of that whole Pocahontas saying, Elizabeth Warren saying, I'm going to go grab me a beer. I'm going to go grab me a beer. Everybody want to have a beer. Because that makes you relatable.
It doesn't work because I have a friend that doesn't use foul language at all, and he gets around me because I use a little bit of foul language, and he'll try to say something like Chuck Schumer did, like shit. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't come out. It's not. I was like, dude, don't curse for me.
I did an event the other night where I spoke to several hundred people in Texas, and this lady comes up to me afterwards and she goes, you should be a comedian. And I go, okay. She goes, I'm trying to get conservative comedians over to Dallas. I said, well, I was in Dallas last weekend. She goes, where? And I go, the Dallas Comedy Club. Yeah, but you weren't at the Addison Improv. You should go there. I was like, I've been there 20 times, lady.
Many times.
And she goes, well, really? I've never, she goes, but we need clean comedy. I said, okay, go get you some. And she was like, well, you said one word tonight. And I said, what word did I say? She said, I think you said the sh-e-t word. And I said, no, I didn't. I didn't say anything. I mean, I'm talking to this at a Lincoln Reagan dinner. And I said, I don't know where you were. But anyway, I was like sitting there and I was like, it was so funny how awkwardly that came out of this woman's mouth. But listen, let me tell you something. It's just insane. Take a look at CNN. CNN, when they're admitting this, let me tell you, you got a problem. Play the clip.
Democrats at this point are historically divided. It is a complete and utter mess. It is messier than a hoarder's basement. What are we talking about here? The national early poll leader, 25% plus. Normally, that's where Democrats are. Biden was at 25% plus in 2020. Hillary Clinton was in 08 and 16. Gore was in 00 and 04. At this particular point, there is no one in the Democratic race for president who's polling at 25% plus. The water is quite warm. If you're a Democrat potentially thinking about running in 2028, jump right in.
I'm going to run. I'm going to run for the Democrat Party. That would be fantastic.
They went too far left. They just went over. They just went over and kept going and kept going. We saw it coming. They just kept going left.
Well, again, you can't keep taking these 80-20 or these 90-10 things and focusing on the 10%. People are losing it. I mean, you look at what's happening in New York. New York is it's the end of New York. It's the end of New York City. And because they're gonna vote in Mamdani. They're going to do it. And they want to touch that hot stove, and we're going to let them do it. And it's unfortunate because, 25 years after 9/11, they're going to vote in a socialist Muslim, which I don't even know how that exists, but they're going to do that. And the center of the world's capitalism, the city that has represented capitalism forever, New York City, is about to have a guy who's a socialist.
And I'm going to tell you, there's more of them are going to move out of that state. The financial businesses are already kind of starting to leave. Where are they headed to?
They're going to Florida.
And where else? They're going to Florida and Texas.
Yeah.
We're liable to have Wall Street in Texas before you know it.
Well, they're going. I-95's about to be very crowded, headed down to Florida. So top 1% in New York is going to be the top 1% in Florida. Take a look at what Trump said about Mamdani. Just blast him. I mean, and again, you got to blast him because this is ridiculous. This was 60 Minutes last night. Play it.
With state and local elections coming up Tuesday, we asked the president about the highly anticipated mayoral race that includes former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani, 34-year-old Democratic socialist. He's the front
communist, not socialist, communist. He's far worse than a socialist.
Some people have compared him to a left-wing version of you, charismatic, breaking the old rules. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I'm a much better looking person than him, right?
See, this is the stuff that drives him crazy. It's just like when he was talking about Seth Meyers, the Late Show, and he said, making fun of Trump ought to be illegal. Trump put that over on Truth Social, and they're like, see, he's a fascist. He wants to make, free speech illegal. You guys have no clue about the sense of humor. But look at this before we comment on it. Take a look at what Piers Morgan had to say about Mamdani, because this is a real deal. And I saw what you said. You're like, we can't have him in office. No, you're going to get him in office.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what I say on the Chad Prather show. You're going to get him in office. It's too late. It's too late because they went so far down this thing that they think that the edgiest and the farthest out on the fringe and the edge. I mean, when you're out there pulling for Andrew Cuomo, for crying out loud, that's how far we've gone. When you're sad that Eric Adams dropped out of the race, that's how sad New York City is. They're going to get him. The hot stove is on. They're going to touch it. It's going to be a cautionary tale. We're going to drive past it. We're going to point. We're going to say, anywhere the light touches is your kingdom, but do not go into the darkness. New York's going to be in the darkness. Mark my word. It ain't going to take long to see it. Look what Piers Morgan said.
And he's a radical, too. And some of his radical Islamic ties, I mean, y'all experienced that in London as well.
Sure. So look, Obama, compared to Mamdani, is not radical. Let's be clear. I mean, if you look at Mamdani, the defund the police stuff that he was openly posting, you would have thought that would be a disqualifying thing for a mayor of New York City. You would just think if you call the NYPD a bunch of racists who have to be defunded, in other words, just stopped, you would think that person could never become the mayor. He's trying to pretend that he is, a nice little sheep. He's not. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. He's a proper socialist who's going to whack people in New York. And the day of reckoning will come when he actually has to pay for all this stuff. And, there is nowhere in the world where you can point to where actual socialism over any sustained period has worked.
And, here's the only hope for them. I saw what you say there, K-Dub, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, is when he can't keep his promises, all his promises for everything being free, whenever he can't keep those promises, that's going to be the only salvation for New York. And they got to come and they got to rebel, they got to impeach him, they got to get out, whatever they got to do, is you just hope that the dude's going to step on one of them dancing bananas and slip and fall and bust his tail. And that's what's got to happen. So, anyway, New York's done for, man. Yeah. Let's talk about our friends over at American Financing. The holidays are here, folks. They're here. We blinked and they were here. And for a lot of folks, that means excitement. But with the things that are going on in our world right now, it also, without that going on, it still means a lot of stress because you got the gifts, you got the travel, you got the higher prices. And it's real easy to feel overwhelmed right now, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. So if the debt's piling up, you're not alone. And if you're a homeowner, you might consider reaching out to American Financing. You've thought about it, but you didn't want to, didn't want to give up your low mortgage rate or something like that. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan. It's a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up that low mortgage rate. Unlike HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Home Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off those high-interest debt like the credit cards and free up your cash flow and still keep your existing mortgage intact. I mean, nothing to lose here. These are folks that'll help you. I love the folks over at American Financing, and they're not driven by bonuses or any kind of commissions. No, they're salary-based, so you can trust them. There's no upfront fees to find out if you qualify. Call 888-961-4143. That's 888-961-4143. Give them a call. They'll help you out. Or you can check them out at americanfinancing.net/Chad. NMLS 18234. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. I always want to do the Glenn Beck show. Anyway. Oh, my
You're not on a
gosh.
time clock there. You can say all the words.
And you say all the words. I like how they speed that thing up. All right, here you go. This Charlie Kirk supporter, he's out there holding a sign saying Charlie was right. And let me show you what the tolerant left did to him right here. Some of these anti-ICE folks. There you go. Play the clip.
No, these guys are some fucking provocateurs. You come here and you just giving Fox News B-roll. This is the shit that just gives Fox News B-roll.
Can't get out. They just tossed him in the junipers.
Somebody said you just gave him Fox News B-roll.
Push him down in the bushes here. He's just holding, that Charlie Kirk was right.
That shit ain't right.
Somebody helped him up. They got to put his hand out.
Let him talk. Let him talk. By the way, when people can't prove their points, let him talk. Hey,
there you go. There you go.
Can't prove his point.
Don't touch him.
Just proved our point.
You guys are just giving Fox News B-roll. Leave him alone. Just leave him alone.
They're going to try to snatch that sign no matter what. Steve, this is why I don't do this thing. This is why I don't go out in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why I don't go out there. This is because, again, you're going to start snatching stuff and pushing people in the bushes, and I don't have the sanctification to handle stuff like that. They'd end up killing me.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. So that's why we stay home. I stay at the little cabin in the woods, man. And all right, so let's talk about this hug, right? So again, it's been, oh my gosh, it's gone ad nauseum. I want to see what you guys have to say in the chat. The thing that frustrates me is if I take a video of you out there doing anything in life, I can freeze frame it and take a picture. Like, I defy you to make a video, make a 2-minute video of yourself today. I'm talking to you, those of you in the chat, those of you listening to the show. I want you to do a video of yourself talking, just, whatever. And then I want you to try to freeze frame anywhere along in that video and see if you can find an attractive picture of yourself. You can't do it.
No.
You can't do it. We pose for pictures. We don't pose for videos because with a video, you can stop it at any point in time. You will not make an attractive picture of yourself. The point is when you still frame a video, you can make it look like really bad stuff. So, she comes out there, or I'm sorry, she's out there doing this deal. They're at Ole Miss. There's the hug right there. Obviously this is the man and his wife who gave her and Charlie's casket a ride home on Air Force Two. And, she reaches up, puts her hand on the back of his head, and there are going to be people who say, oh, I promise you, if any of you had just watched this video that we're playing on repeat right now and had not seen the still shot of her touching his head, you really wouldn't have thought anything about it. But again, they stopped it, and then they stopped it where it looks like his hand's down on her hip. He literally delays putting his hand on her back when he hugs her, puts it down there, leaves it there for a second, and then, boom, comes back with his hands, and it's off. And now they're having an affair. I mean, this whole thing. Now, listen. Erika is, in my opinion, and I've said all along, she's a little tone deaf in all of this deal. Like, she could be a better, again, I'm not going to criticize a woman who's grieving as a widow. I'm not going to do that. But I get she's coming out there. It's a little tone deaf, some of the things, the rings and $500,000 worth of jewels. I don't know what she's got on, but there's a lot of diamonds and gold going on. And doing this in the leather pants. I get it. You're asking. Maybe that's what they're wanting. You're asking for bad PR. But Steve, I don't know about you. I know a lot of people who hug, and I know a lot of women, actually, who hug and put their hand on the back of somebody's neck or head. In fact, I had a friend of mine from India who used to come speak at our church all the time, and I used to tell this one particular friend of mine, she and her husband, I used to tell her all the time, I was like, listen, people from India, they don't like having their head touched. Because in Hindu tradition, the head, or in Indian tradition, the head is like the most sacred part of your body, and men definitely don't want a woman doing it. So she would hug people like that. She would grab them and just touch their head.
I hug my dog.
I was like, hey, listen, John's going to be here. Don't touch his head. What'd you say?
That's the way I hug my dogs. I hug them and then pat their head.
I don't think anybody's accusing you of having, any kind of coital relationship with your dogs. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's weird. You were out in the woods all weekend long. Who knows what you did? But this kind of stuff, these people who want to freeze the deal and make it look like, oh, they're definitely having an affair. And then the people who are conservatives on the other side who are trying to jump in there saying, oh, you got some explaining to do. This is just like, you talk about it, just to me, just an absolute nothing burger on that whole deal.
Even if it was, what's it your business? What's it their business? Anybody else's business?
Well, but again, you're right.
I don't care if they are.
Well, but again, it's bad form when Charlie stood for what Charlie stood for. If they were having, I mean, if the vice president of the United States is having an affair, behind the back of his wife and his small children with a widow whose husband's only been gone for a month and a half, that is bad form. I do care about that.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean like, I do care about that, but I mean, I just, in general, it's just people looking for something.
Well, I've been around Erika, and obviously that's how she hugs. I mean, here she is hugging Usha, who is the second lady. I mean, hugging her the same way as she gets off of Air Force Two. It's obviously how the woman hugs.
Yeah.
So, am I missing something on this?
That's more of an intimate thing.
They're close friends.
Yeah.
So. They're close friends.
And there's proof she hugs people like that. That's how she hugs.
I mean, it's the same hug.
I mean, it's kind of like Joe Biden sniffing people. That's just how he does it.
Yeah, he wants to sniff people, and he wants to, gobble on kids and all this kind of stuff and nibble their ears and do all this kind of stuff. And the left, where were they on that whole deal? He wants to nibble on kids. That's what he does.
Eat their feet.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. I mean, how many of those videos are you going?
That's his thing. That's her thing. Let her do it. And speaking of freezing pictures and stuff like that, freezing video, that's how we mess with each other. We screenshot stuff and we'll send it to each other.
I just literally put the end of this microphone in my mouth. Screenshot that.
It will be done. It's probably fixing to be posted. It's about to be posted, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to do anything that they can do. I think that now maybe they're after the attention. Maybe they're pursuing the hate. And you say, that's silly. No. Actually, there are some people out there who pursue the negative press because the negative press is still press, right? I don't think they need that. But they're going to attack. They're going to say, well, she doesn't really have tears when she's dabbing. She doesn't really have snot when she's dabbing with the thing. So, here's what Sweetie Goat says, 1776. The left has their panties in a wad because of the way Erika Kirk hugged J.D. Vance, but they had no problem with Jill lip-locking Kamala's husband. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Bring it on down. Look at that.
That's the way she hugs.
Jill's down there giving them...
Remember growing up, there's always that old lady at church that wanted to kiss you?
Right on the mouth, some of them.
Yeah. I mean, you're like, oh, no. You avoid them. You got to stay away from that.
I had somebody the other day who commented and said, well, I was raised Pentecostal and we were taught to side hug. Yeah, you were raised Pentecostal. Not everybody was raised Pentecostal. Not everybody was raised in the same way that you were. But, you got Jill down here giving old Doug Emhoff a mouth hug.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
I mean, over the years, I've
man.
become a really good side hugger. I've learned to do the side hug thing.
I mean, I hug people. I'm a hugger. I was at that event Saturday night. I had these people who walked up to me. I'm a hugger. I'm like, so hug me.
Yeah.
But you got some people that get tore up over that.
Yeah, but if they want to throw their leg around you while they're hugging you, that's a little much, Chad.
Dude, again, and you've been on the road with me for all these years. You've seen that. You've seen people try to do that. They try to pose for pictures, throw their leg up on you. They grab you by the butt. I mean, there for the longest time, I couldn't do a meet and greet without getting my butt grabbed. And sometimes it was by dudes that were standing there with their wives.
I was going to say it was the dudes.
I had a lot of that. Weird. I'm like, this dude, But anyway, so, I mean, people are going to complain about what they're going to complain about, but they didn't complain about, Doug and Jill. But, here's what Erika said on Jesse Waters, talking about her kid, talking about Charlie. Let's pull that up and play the clip. Play it.
You told your children that Charlie was going on a work trip with Jesus. Are they still asking, where's Daddy?
Yes, my daughter continues to ask, but it's really sweet because I keep explaining to her a few things. And I said, if ever you want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him. He can It's always me, Robert. And I told her, I said, you know, Daddy is in heaven. She goes, you think I could go sometime? I said, baby, we will all go one day. We will all go one day.
You know, and I think people look at this and they're like, oh, you know, it's so dramatic and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know, I don't care how she acts. And I mean, I don't think it's our place to analyze it or overanalyze it. I mean, you know, again, how you behave in the good times is one thing, but I can't talk about how somebody behaves in the face of tragedy and how they're supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
And again, you know, I see what you say, KB. I would absolutely hate to be famous. No one should be famous. I don't think anybody. It ruins people, man. When you got that many eyeballs on you, it's just not. We're not created to have all that.
You get overpraised and overcriticized. Yeah. You get both ends of it.
Yeah. You know, speaking of famous, let's talk about our producer, David Medina. At David Medina, PDX.
He's making some noise up there in, where's he live? In
Oregon.
Yeah.
He's in Oregon.
Always making noise up there.
He got honored the other night, dude. And, you know, they're giving some credit where it's due. They honored him for the hard work that he's doing up there in Portland. He believes God's not done with Oregon. He's just absolutely doing a hero's work, man, and I'm so proud of him. And if you haven't seen any of those videos, go follow him at David Medina PDX. But I got one thing I want to say to him, because he can hear me. This sort of hurt my feelings a little bit, and he knows probably now that I've said it what I'm going to say. He got up there and he started talking about his little resume, started talking about his little accolades. He's like, you know, I work for Benny Johnson, and I work with Officer Tatum, and I still work with David Harris Jr. And then he kept on with his little speech. You know what he didn't say? He didn't say a darn word about being a part of the Chad Prather Show.
What?
Man. He didn't say, he's yelling, he's crying, and he didn't say a thing. He didn't no time said, you know, and I work with Chad Prather. But I get it, nobody knows who I am. That's okay, that's all right, that's fine. I'm not famous enough, KB. KB, we're not famous enough to be mentioned in the speech, man. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, David. I'm so proud of you. He's in my ear. He's crying. It's okay.
He needs to rewrite his acceptance speeches. He's using the same one for years. He's just so used to it. He goes into autopilot.
You know, and those are some big names. I mean, you know, big names. I mean, he's done some stuff for Benny and Tatum and Brandon Tatum and David Harris, and all of them are our friends. I'm, you know, that's fine. It's okay, man. One day we'll keep doing what we do. And no, I'm kidding. I'm giving David a hard time. I don't want to be mentioned. I don't care. I'm just proud of him, man. What he's doing is phenomenal, and I'm excited about that. And he got a great honor the other night. He got recognized, and I think when people are doing real work like David's doing, you should be recognized. Let's see. Let's talk about our friends. Let me see if I can get back over here to it. At Black Forest Supplements, they sent over a new deal for us to tell you all about. And I want to tell you about it accurately because I think they got a new deal going. Hang on a second. Let me get back over here to it. There it is right there. So they got the flavonoids, cocoa. You can't eat chocolate and there's something in the cocoa bean that's so healthy for you, these flavonols, that like absolutely look at that thing flashing. Is it flashing for everybody or is it just me? When they make chocolate out of the cocoa bean, it loses the flavonols. And so you can't eat enough chocolate to get the benefit out of it. But they've got this powder. You dump it in your coffee, and you're going to become 27% harder to kill. Yeah, I said it. Get those flavonols in your coffee. Black Forest, high flavanol, cocoa powder. They did a study with 21,000 people, showed that this cocoa can reduce your chance of having a heart attack by 27%. Pretty impressive. So the cocoa flavonols keep your arteries flexible, and 90% of the flavonols, if you eat regular chocolate, yeah, I'm talking about eating chocolate. There's health benefits to it, but it gets destroyed during the processing of making the chocolate. So it's the difference between putting water in your gas tank and that high-octane fuel. Harvard ran this study called the Cosmos Trial. It's the biggest study on cocoa ever, and we're not talking about candy here. We're talking about performance fuel. Every scoop delivers the same active compounds The Harvard researchers linked to cardiovascular support, better blood flow, even sharper focus. So get that blood flowing, man. It's a really cool inside-out protection. Go over to blackforestsupplements.com/Chad and check it out. Get it for yourself. I love this stuff, man. And so if you've been thinking about trying it, act now before it's gone, because they do run out from time to time. Hit the link down in the description or go to blackforestsupplements.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad while you're over there. Look at EV Mux, man. I don't know if it's flashing for you guys. It's flashing for me. All right. Party foul, Steve. Yeah, David. Renee said, don't miss Chad. What's the deal, man? Renee said, anyone going to the Looney Bin in Tulsa next month? Yeah, we're going to be at the Looney Bin. Brad Stein and I, those of you who know Brad Stein, he's been doing the comedy thing for a long, long time. And we're going to be there in Tulsa for 3 nights, 5 shows back at the Looney Bin. Come hang out with us. And then, where are we going to be? Where am I going to be, Steve? Next weekend, I'm at Spring, Texas. Going to be back at Do-Si-Do.
Yeah, that's on the 4th. Is it, what's the dates on those? 13, 14? Not this weekend, the following. I hadn't even looked at the date. Yeah, 14, 15. Let me see. I have to go look it up. I don't have your schedule memorized. Did Chad freeze? I think he did freeze, but I do not have his. I don't have his schedule memorized. So I'm going to go in here and look at it for y'all, and I'll tell y'all exactly. I'm going to pull out the glasses. So, yeah, November 13th, that's a Thursday, Do-Si-Do Big Barn in the Woodlands here, the Spring, Texas. And then the Barge 295 in Seabrook on Friday, and that would be the 14th. David, you might as well pop on here and help me out. Otherwise, it's just me. Yeah, David's coming to save the day because y'all don't want me in here talking about deer hunting and camping. And I will say that I overpacked and I took way too much food out there to the deer camp. And I brought so much back with me. What? I can do this, David. David's in my ear right now. And he's like, I think Chad's power went out. He's having some power issues at the cabin in the woods. A little bit too much. How does Chad talk for hours and hours and people just listen to him talk and without any help? And I would never be a good host just by myself and try to come up with words to say before they come out of my mouth, because I just, I put no thought into anything that comes out of my mouth. David, where are you? I can see Chad laughing right now. He's probably trying to get on the internet. We have lost everything. I don't even know if I'm talking to anyone out there. If you're here, give me some bananas in the chat so I know that at least I'm still here. So, because I've got no one. I've got no David. I have nothing. Hey, look who is coming on. I just seen David pop up on the side there. Oh, there goes the bananas. Okay, at least I'm still here. David is coming in here. He's going to jump on here with me. I'm sure Chad's trying to get back on as they're working on his internet. I just see the Chad Prather studio is coming back up, but they're still not there. It's everything is glitchy. Get those bananas going. Get the flags going. Get it all going. I could blow up the chat. David, where are you? Chad, help. This is what it looks like when someone's drowning and no one's coming. No one's coming to save me. No, I don't need my own show. I barely have my own studio. But I can definitely just read the chat. That's probably more interesting than anything I do. Look who's back. Look who's back. But we had no dead air. I could just randomly talk about anything and nothing all at the same time. Every day, I think everybody's back, but I'm the only one on. So it's everybody's studio. Hey, the hunting trip was great. I spent more time in prayer on the deer stand than anything else, and a lot of time sleeping. But I did hunt morning and evening, saw a lot of deer. But we are managing that property, being very selective of what we take off of it. And we saw some bobcats, we saw coyotes, but man, if y'all only knew what was going on behind the scenes right now and the chaos that was pursuing at the Chad Prather studio and the David Medina studio, they are having all kinds of, I mean, they're here, they're not. They're here, they're not. They're all going great. This is a typical Monday. Look, they are completely gone. I have no idea if I'm still on here at all. Everything just disappeared completely. Get the bananas going. Get the bananas going, because I know they're working on it. They're trying to get back here. So I'll just say, I'll try to answer the questions in the chat as y'all bring them up. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Are we coming back? Do we have everyone? No, we still don't. I'm the only one up. I don't know. Can y'all hear David? Can anybody hear David? Oh, y'all keep it. Yeah, my wife hunts more than I do. She's the first one up in the morning. She's the first one on the deer stand. She's the last one to leave the deer stand. She loves the hunting more than I do. She's probably killed more deer in the last 10 years than probably the rest of my family combined. She's the deer slayer.
Chad, you there?
I'm here.
Oh my!
Nobody can hear you or me. Nobody can hear
you,
see you and me. There we are. We're back.
Thank
We're
you,
just gonna put
Jesus.
Steve as the host right now because this guy's been carrying us, dude. Look at Steve.
No, I don't know that I carried anything. I just went crazy. It's
my gosh!
Let up some of my pinup talking because all the time I just listen to Chad and I have to. All of a sudden I have to think of my own thoughts and come up with stuff.
The Chad Prather show.
If you only knew what went on in my mind all the time. Look, there's Chad. He went away and then came back.
Hey, Chad, I got to tell you though, I feel horrible that I didn't mention you, but it's also because you are set apart, my friend, from the rest of those guys. God has set you apart. That's why I'm working for you. There's a reason why I'm not working for these guys, man.
You got to rewrite your speech, dude. You went on autopilot.
Hey, March 7th, you're coming out. You're coming out March 7th, and you're going to be the headliner. How about that?
I was laughing. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not, but
yeah, they're saying they only can hear me, David.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good now.
Well, are you sure? They're still saying
that's
David.
Probably the old chat because we were off. We had things blinking. My light just fell over here. I don't even have all my lights on. I mean, I don't even
okay, they see all three of us.
Yeah.
Can you hear everyone?
I can hear all three, according to Random Mama Bear. Yeah, well, you can hear us all. So
right,
David, I was laughing. I mean, I was all excited because I was like, he's about to say my name in this room, and he didn't do it, but it's okay.
Wait, where did you see that? Were we streaming it? But my guy was streaming it, wasn't he?
No, I think one of your guys had posted it up. No, I'm totally kidding with you, dude. I'm totally kidding. I just want to give you a hard time.
I feel bad though.
Well, dude, they brought you up on stage. You had to give the speech and all that, so you don't have to remember the checklist. You know, I would always, you go to an award show or something like that, and I can't imagine these people's got to remember all the people that helped make their movie or something like that. But anyway.
Yeah. What do you think about the Great Gatsby party that Trump threw? I can't believe it. While people are starving.
So let's talk about that in a few remaining minutes that we got. So Trump throws this annual Halloween party at Mar-a-Lago, right? It's a Great Gatsby thing, and everybody's losing their mind. You got Gavin Newsom and everybody else calling him out on that. How dare he throw this party? Everybody's dressed up. I mean, people are losing their wick and their SNAP and their, food stamps and all this kind of stuff. And Trump's over there sitting next to Marco Rubio. How dare he? Now, let me remind you guys that Gavin Newsom went to French Laundry, $700-800 a plate. And then he lied about it, said it was going to be an outdoor event. No, it wasn't. It was indoors, dining with his friends while everybody was shut down and quarantined in California during the COVID lockdown. Let's remember that Muriel Bowser did the exact same thing and went to all these people that were out there doing all this kind of stuff. The left's hypocrisy is insane when they want to sit there and say, oh, well, Trump's out there doing all of this kind of stuff. You can't, they partied, there were tons of Democrats who were, do as I say, not as I do back during COVID. And, London Breed, San Francisco's mayor, he went to French Laundry the night after Gavin Newsom did it. So let me give you my honest to God take on this deal. So Trump attends a Halloween event at Mar-a-Lago. They have a Gatsby party. So Mar-a-Lago, people say, he's having a party at his home. Let me explain to you, those of you in the chat, I'm sure you already know what Mar-a-Lago is. Mar-a-Lago is a private resort. Yes, it is also Trump's resident. But people pay a lot of money to be members of Mar-a-Lago. They pay a lot of money. I'm a member. I was thinking about this morning. I'm a member of a resort out in Vegas. I have a place there. I can go stay when I want to go stay. Party Foul Steve, you've stayed there.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. Every year during the Super Bowl, they throw a massive VIP party. I get invited. I tend to go. And you know what? If you're a member out there, if you're a VIP out there at this resort and you don't get invited to one of their parties and they don't have a party, guess what? Those people who pay all that money into being a part of that resort, they're going to be upset. So if you're not having these events, places like Mar-a-Lago, those people who pay the money to be a member there, if they don't get to go enjoy the benefits of being a member of the resort, I'd say they're going to be a little pissed off. Oh, yeah, they threw a Halloween party. But don't forget, Adam Schiff, he was out with thousands of people too. We got the images of that are coming out, the whole deal. So, yeah, a private resort had a party. People are like, but people are out there not eating. We've always had people out there not eating. You've always had poor people, but that never stopped Nancy Pelosi from going and getting her hair did and going hanging out in the salon and getting caught on camera doing it while she was, voting to shut everybody down across the.
One of the things that I've seen across the community, Chad, and I think you froze again, but one of the things that I've seen is on all of the local Facebook groups, and not just local, but other groups that I'm involved in, is the communities coming together to making sure their neighbors are fed. So they're organizing, hey, if you need a meal, I can feed. I can feed this many people, or I can send this much food. So that aspect of it, from the neighbors taking care of neighbors during this time of the government shutdown, I've seen that improve. And I guess we lost everybody, and now it's the Party Foul Steve show. We need to change the logos in the corners. We could do away with the Chad Prather logo. I think he's trying to just push the show off on me and give it to me. But what we can do, because I have David in my ear, we can go to Pinheads of the Day. This should be easy, David. Just go Pinhead of the Day. Where's my little thing? Ta-da. There it is. Pinhead of the Day. Who are we looking at? Oh, Gavin Newsom. Oh, this is over the whole Donald Trump hosting the Gatsby party. And
no, this is a new one. This is a different one here.
Oh, here we go. We got Chad back. There he is.
Yeah. For now, I'm gonna have to go down there and fire some workers. They're down there working on the breaker box. There's a judge he resigned after allegedly being caught urinating on a street just steps from her own courthouse. This is a her, not a him, by the way.
What are you doing?
I mean, this is a judge out there.
Why?
Peeing through the bench on the street.
What are we doing?
Uber.
This is disgusting.
I mean,
okay, this is unacceptable. Where's your ID?
It's my husband's watch.
She might have had an emergency situation though, Chad.
Are you her husband? Yep. Okay.
But you're going to go sit on a city bench?
Well, you got to find the closest place if it's an emergency. You got to go.
Because I
then go behind this building in an alley somewhere.
Well, she wanted to sit on.
You can go by the cab, or you can continue to interfere with the investigation.
Squat to pee thing.
Okay. Last chance. Go over to the cab. No.
I mean, now all the cops are going to. I'd be gloving up too. Now they're going to arrest him.
What are they arresting
I'm
him
going
for?
to throw you on the ground if you resist. I gave you several chances, and you don't want to listen.
We have a cab. Well, she should just listen and get her citation and go about her business.
515-1 resisting.
Is she down there? She got her giblets hung in the slats of the bench, or what? She can't get up. Why do they always resist?
515, we're fighting.
You ever peed in public like that, Chad?
I did it last night, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't public. I mean, I guess if somebody was wanting to look, but I was out behind my truck in the woods.
I was gonna say that's I've been known to, not like in public, but yeah, I'll go pee on the side of a building if I need to pee. Back in my drinking days when I was, My
I mean,
bladder's way too
sometimes-
small for the amount of alcohol I could put in it.
I mean, if you're wearing shorts and you got a solo cup, you're walking down the street, maybe sometimes you can, you know.
Oh, I don't
Get-
know if I
get-
could do that. Yeah.
I mean, you know, just put that cup down there by your knee and let her rip. Just let her rip.
The great thing about being a dude, if we're driving down the road, you just pull off the side of the road and pee by the truck.
We've done that. We've parked in the middle of the interstate on the ice
Million.
storm, haven't we?
We have a million times.
I was like, don't you pull off because we'll never get back on this highway again. We'll never do.
Women have
but
it rough. You got to carry one of those little cups that has a
those
funnel.
little things were the little deal that cups it like a funnel. Yeah. All right, here's another one. Play this clip. Here we go. Pay a nickel for Trump-induced anxiety hustle.
No!
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Fat boy! Fat!
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat! No!
Ooh, that dude's such a badass. Oh my goodness.
That's the way you treat your dinger when it doesn't work and you can't pee out in public. You start banging on the stool. Now, this is a costume for you right here. Look at this. That's a lot to keep up
Oh,
with.
is that the White House with no east wing?
Demolishing the East Wing. You're gonna go, I mean, these people their TDS is bad, bro.
Yeah.
You know, every time they tear down something, I'm sure Hunter Biden will be out there on sheetrock day trying to snort some dust.
Yeah, stuff like this has nothing to do with Donald Trump tearing. This is just, hey, I'm going to do this because it'll bring attention to me.
Well, I mean, that's what Halloween does, right? I guess. But anyway, that's kind of dumb. These people
Pretty creative, though.
Did you didn't get dressed up? I'm assuming.
I dressed up like a deer hunter.
Yeah,
That's exactly all I did was just dress up.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's crazy. Again, I go back to what I said, and let's get out of here before I lose the internet. Party Foul Steve, any final words, brother?
No, thanks for joining the Party Foul Steve show today. Tune in next time, and maybe I can do it again. But I'm going to have to start prepping myself to speak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that helps. That does help. But follow him at Party Foul Steve. And I just want to say, don't listen when the left acts like the world's moral referee. Let me get to my final thoughts, my final word here, whatever we're calling this thing. Play the little deal. Let's see if we can kill the internet one more time. David may not be around. He's forgotten me. There it is. You know what? Listen, you get out on social media, again, don't listen to the left trying to be the world's moral referee. Stop it. They're blowing whistles on everybody while they're out there breaking every rule in the book. I don't care what you say. And I'm sick of politicians across the board. I don't care because they're all lying. But these people out there that want to preach virtue like a televangelist and their lifestyle looks more like a Hollywood after party, I'm not listening to their opinion anymore. So stop it. You know, these people out there that want to get mad at Trump for his Gatsby party, it wasn't his, it was Mar-a-Lago's. It was the private resorts, right? Those people pay good money to go to these parties. That's what they do. And you can't penalize somebody because they've worked hard and they've taken, you know, the opportunity that America affords them and they've been successful. And then you got other people out there. Again, it's not your responsibility to take care of every poor person out there. I get people in my social media right now, they're saying, you're going to starve more children this week. No, I'm personally not, actually. I've started several orphanages around the world. I've worked really hard in third world countries as well as the poor around this country. So we've done quite a bit, but my charity isn't dependent on what the government is doing. My charity doesn't go away just because the government shuts down. That's between me and God and the people who receive it in the charity, okay? I do a lot of charity stuff out there, and I'm not going to sit there and listen to I'm not going to listen to your social media moralizing on the part of the left. And these people have never lifted a single finger to open up their wallet and try to help somebody else, but they get mad if the government's not out there doing it. So I'm not interested in the people who are eating $1,200 a plate dinners, flying to private climate conferences, and, you know, they're not out there riding the struggle bus, but want to moralize and complain at you for not bailing everybody out. Okay, so stop. Don't listen to them. When they're out there saying, oh, got to feed the children, they're not feeding anybody. All they care about is whether or not this, you know, other genders can come into the girls' bathroom and change clothes, and they can push their gender ideologies in the classrooms and sexualize kindergartners. So don't moralize to me. Don't tell me about that. You're going to justify abortion as health care and then want to let men put on women's swimsuits, jump in the pool with your daughters. You know, they care more about your kids' feelings and pronouns than they do about a kid's right to be born. So I don't care. You want to yell defund the police and then hire your private security to guard your mansions and live behind a gated community while you talk about open borders and how we ought to welcome the immigrant, and that's somehow biblical. They lock down your business during COVID and sneak off to their luxury restaurants, maskless, drinking $500 bottles of wine. You know, we're all in this together. No, you were busy losing your job and they were getting haircuts and book deals, okay? So you don't have to listen to their moralizing. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us today. And tomorrow morning, I'll see you before the noise, 8/7 Central. We got a thing coming called Above the Noise, which is going to go even deeper. So I'll give you more details on that as we get out there. But hit like, hit subscribe, hit share, do all the things. If you've not subscribed yet, make sure that you're doing that on my Rumble channel and my YouTube. And maybe tomorrow, the breakers in the little cabin in the woods will be working, and we'll be back with you. In the meantime, I love you guys so much. Thanks for participating in the chat and hanging out with us, man. And thanks for putting up with all our little idiosyncrasies. And maybe for Steve, maybe he'll kill Bambi next weekend. All right? I love you guys. God bless you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, bye.